So let's take a look at the extra letters that can be injected into roots to create new nouns. They're 10 letters: alif, waw, ya, hamza, mim, ha, lam, noon, sin, and ta. Let's take a look at them again in Arabic. Here they are. The first three are the long vowels, alif, waw, and ya. The alif and the alif maqsura are actually the same. Alif maqsura is the non-dotted ya. It's considered an alif as well. Alif, waw, and ya, the long vowel. There is noon. Mim. Mim can carry a fatha, dhamma, or a kasra, each with a specific meaning, and it's usually attached to the beginning of nouns. There's also the ha, lam, and sin, and then there's the ta. Of course, ta spread out, the open ta, or ta as we call ta marbuta, a ta which is tied. There's also finally the hamza, which is hamzat al-wasl, appearing at the beginning of the noun. There's a hamza on an alif, or hamza sitting on the line, which usually comes at the end of nouns. So let's take a look at a group of nouns to apply to find extra letters. Of course, the first rule you need to remember is that this word should have at least a minimum of 3 letters included in it. So first count the numbers of the letters in the word. They're in these 3 words, they're 3 per word. So there are no extra letters here included. It's bab. Is the alif an extra letter injected in the middle? No, it isn't, simply because this is a 3-lettered word anyway, so there is nothing extra in here. The same thing with safe and bait. Okay, so let's take real examples of attached letters in roots. So these are sharif, ajuz, adib, shuja'. So of course the translations to the left are a translation of the root letters. So that's the roots excluding the extra letters. There an ya in the first word. So sharaf, it means to have honor, and so on. For the same for the other words. Ajuz, these are all adjectives, by the way. So adjectives usually have long vowels injected in the middle of the root to create them. Sharif, ajuz, adib, and shuja'. Let's take a look at another set of words to find the attached letters. They are madrasa and maghfira. Notice they're kind of like the same pattern. So ma, mim with a fatha here, mim with a fatha here, and ta marbuta in the end. Of course, it's in the case of madrasa, this means a location. Maghfira here is a verbal noun, which all these patterns will be explained as well in this week and so. Malakut, the same thing, but malakut, some people might wonder, is it the mim that's an extra letter or the waw and ta? Well, first thing, you need to cross out the long vowels. So waw goes first for sure, and then think about it. Is it the first 3 letters, the mim, lam, and kaf, which are the original letters, or is it the crossing out the mim and the lam, kaf, and ta, the originals? Well, actually, if you look in the dictionary for lam, kaf, and ta, you would not find a word carrying this meaning, that carries a meaning. So it's actually the real root is mim, lam, and kaf, while the waw and ta are the extra letters. Okay, so and sama, the same thing. The roots are sin, mim, and alif, while the hamza sitting on the line is an extra letter. Okay, this is another set. These words, of course, include other extra nouns, letters. So istighfar here, the alif, sin, ta, when they come together like this, it means to seek something or to ask something, with the root ghafara meaning forgive. So it's like seeking forgiveness. So finally, let's take a look at the different patterns that nouns can appear in. These are the Arabic derivatives, al-mushtaqat min al-asma. There are 8. It's ism al-fa'il, اسم المفعول، الصفة المشبهة، صيغ المبالغة، اسم التفضيل، اسما الزمان والمكان, and finally اسم الآلة. Of course, اسما الزمان والمكان, these are two nouns combined, two patterns. They're always written together because they carry the same form or pattern. So these, as I mentioned, are 8 patterns here. Let's take a look at them again from the beginning and explain per row. Of course, this table you will find included with the attachment included in this tutorial. Usually they explain the Arabic derivatives in sets of chapters or even volumes on its own, but I've tried to summarize it for you in one table. Let's take a look at the first row. Ism al-fa'il. It literally translates to noun of the subject, the doer. It indicates the person doing the action, doing the verb, and these two are the basic forms. The basic two forms, one in black and one in blue. The black one means that this verb is originally three-lettered. It includes 3 roots. While the blue one means it's a 4-rooted verb or even more than 4-lettered roots. So as for the first one, what has changed here, think as fa and ain and lam as the original root letters, and they inject an alif. Remember always the letter with the highlight behind it. This is an extra letter. So they inject the alif after the first letter. So it becomes fa'il. Fa'il. This is the pattern. When you apply that to other roots, it becomes katib, alim, faris. These are, remember, the doers. These are the persons doing the verb. So for kataba, the root kataba, katib becomes the writer. Alim, alim, the root alama meaning know. So alim, he is the scholar, the one who has knowledge, and so on. As for the 4-lettered root verb, you don't attach an alif, but instead you attach a meme carrying a dhamma at the beginning of it. So it becomes muf'il instead. So you have to focus also on the marks of the letters. You have to stick to these patterns. So it becomes Muslim, meaning the doer of Islam, Mudarris, the one doing the doer of Darrasa, and Mustaghfir, the one doing Istighfar. Okay, the same thing to all the other patterns. So Ism al-Maf'ul, it indicates the entity on which the action occur. So it's once again 2 patterns. The 3 and 4 letters apply especially for Ism al-Fa'il and Ism al-Maf'ul. So they have 2 separate patterns, and these are the examples. So Maf'ul here, once again, just remember that the extra letters are highlighted in yellow. The meme is an extra letter as well as the waw. And here the meme is an extra letter. The difference between them, this meme carried a fatha up here, while this carried a dhamma. The as-sifa al-mushabbaha, this is also how to build adjectives here. So you see most of the forms have long vowels. So here's the alif is an additional, an extra letter. Here the ya, the waw, the alif here you see, and the alif maqsura, the alif noon. These are all here examples for adjectives. So these are the forms and these are the examples. You don't have to memorize every pattern, but this is just to familiarize yourself with it. Just you can print out this table and put it aside as a reference for you. What we'll do is have a lot of reading practices that you will need to remember some of these forms, the most common repeated forms. One of the other few that are usually repeated are Ism al-Zaman wal-Makan. They are maf'il here, the forms. Of course, these are the nouns of the time and place. So the nouns of the time are maf'il, like maghrib, mashriq, while the nouns of the place, when we mentioned the example for these, like masjid, they are the pattern maf'al. Finally, ism al-ala, These are the sets of the patterns that nouns can appear in to become instruments. So let's just take the first example. They are mif'al. Mif'al, see the extra letter is a mim and alif. Mim in the beginning and alif in the middle. And the examples for them are minshar, miftah, and mismar. Okay, I hope this was clear. شكرا وحياكن الله.